Hey there, this is the One Boom, and hopefully today you can hear me as a Halo fanboy and not as a Halo hater. In this video, I'm gonna lay out the things that bother me the most when I'm playing Halo Infinite so that maybe they can get circulated around as a topic and we can get them fixed. I'm seeing a lot of praise towards Halo Infinite and that's great, but I'm also seeing a sort of sweeping under the rug of the issues Halo Infinite has because, like I said in my Sleeping Failure video, everybody's too busy having fun. 343 nailed moment-to-moment gameplay for new and old Halo fans alike. They found a perfect middle ground. That's awesome, but there are some severe issues with the game that are halting my enjoyment of long-time grinds and play sessions. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about these things, and if I get anything wrong, please let me know. Alright, so the first issue I run into when playing Halo Infinite is something that's been harped on a lot, so I'll try not to talk about it too long. But there's no skill-based progression in this game. While 343 has made some improvements to their XP and Battle Pass system by giving you XP bonuses for your first handful of games a day, it really bothers me that no matter how well I do, if I don't complete a challenge, I'm not getting any XP. Last night while playing Ranked, I thought to myself, if this was any other shooter, or hell, any other Halo, these multi-kills and no-scopes and flag captures would amount to something. If I played a really long game of anything in something like Call of Duty Vanguard or Modern Warfare or Cold War, I would get extra Battle Pass progression for the time I was in that match. So playing something like Plunder or Zombies or just a really long sweaty game of domination was good for progression. And also those games have other forms of progression like leveling up your weapons and your character and your operator, whatever it might be. So you're always progressing as you're playing and you don't have to be completing challenges to do it, though of course challenges do help. There's that beautiful feeling of working towards something, and Halo Infinite doesn't have that. The fact that Halo Infinite is willing to do these different variants and coatings and camos for all of their weapons and stuff of the sort really bothers me, because why isn't there a challenge to get like 300 headshots with a BR for a gold BR? At this point, why not do that? Why aren't there special armor coatings I can get from returning flags? Why aren't there pieces of armor I can get from getting oddball kills? There's nothing I'm progressing towards if my challenges for the week are done and if I'm not able to progress that challenge that match. When it comes to my first game of the day, if my challenge is get a kill with a gravity hammer, and of course you play one game to get 300 XP, I can leave a game with 500 XP even if all I get is one gravity hammer kill, because I played one match and got one kill. Meanwhile, somebody out there just got 40 kills in a ranked game and is getting 50 XP because his weekly challenges are done. And that sucks. Honestly, to me, it's unacceptable. I don't know why there isn't at least a couple armor coatings you can gain through challenges. Why isn't there flag capture armor coating and, assault rifle kills coating, and why not? There's no reason to not have that in a modern shooter. So the progression's bad, but what about vehicle play? Vehicles are really well designed in this game with interesting weak spots and hatches you can blow off to expose drivers and tires that you can pop. It's really cool, except for the fact that shock weapons exist. And it's funny because the Halo community has kind of turned against the Spartan Laser as far as I can tell, because the Spartan Laser quote-unquote trivializes vehicle play. Okay, fair enough. But a Spartan Laser could be rebalanced to do less damage to vehicles, it could be rebalanced to only have like 2 shots in it, but instead we have the Disruptor, the shock rifle, and the electricity grenades. Yeah, nothing better than having a Warthog with all of your friends in it immediately stopped in its tracks and blown up because somebody threw a grenade near you or peppered you with a pistol. The plasma pistol EMPing vehicles used to work because you had to charge up the pistol and kind of lead a little bit, but also try to get a lock on. At a distance, you just had to lead and hope, but now you just have a shock rifle and you pew, 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 and you're fine. Nothing better than finally getting a Scorpion tank on Fiesta just to be immediately killed because you are shot by a shock rifle 3 times and then blown up by somebody's rockets. I would much rather get hit by a Spartan Laser twice than be EMP'd anymore. I hate that feeling of being dead in the water. There needs to be some way to counter this. They need to be nerfed in some way. I think shock weapons should have a sort of AoE shield breaking effect, but they shouldn't have a vehicle EMPing effect unless you're really up close or you shoot the vehicle in the weak spot or something. But just throwing a grenade near me should not take my Banshee out of the sky, should not stop my Warthog in its tracks. It's super frustrating to be countered by something that takes such little skill. The next issue I have is the lack of enemy-player collision. I do not like walking through an enemy in a close quarters, hectic environment and meleeing the wall behind them. I get not having player collision on my teammates. I get not having friendly fire outside of ranked. I can understand that. But what bothers me is that I can walk up to an enemy, go to melee, and it looks like I should be hitting, but I'm sort of like clipping into them and I'm past them. I've had people do this to me with the sword, and I'm surprised they didn't rage quit. They literally ran through me and slashed the wall behind me. This makes Oddball a nightmare in close quarters when you're trying to melee somebody with the Oddball and they're running through you and you have to turn around, and of course there's grenades flying and explosions. It just makes the game feel so much worse. You should be able to collision an enemy for sure. Now the next issue also ties in with that is the low sensitivity on controller. Now if you are a low sensitivity player, it's not going to bother you, and I imagine a lot of you aren't using precision rings on your controller, which provide extra tension, so some of you aren't going to notice the problem here, but I absolutely do. With max input threshold, a low dead zone, and max acceleration and sensitivity, it sort of is equivalent to a 3 or 4 sensitivity in something like Call of Duty Vanguard. Like, here's a news flash, 343, most console shooters let players crank their sensitivity up through the roof if they want to, if that's their playstyle. Most shooters let people turn off or change the style of aim assist they have. When this problem was in the tech test, I was told it's just a tech test. When it was happening in the beta, I was told it's just a beta. When it's happening during the full launch of the game, everybody's sort of forgotten about it. But I haven't. If you don't use precision rings and you use a low sensitivity, you probably won't notice this, but it doesn't matter. Even if it works for you, doesn't mean it's working properly. That's not how sensitivities should work. I should be able to spin around at Mach 10 if I want to. Lord knows keyboard and mouse players can, and they don't need aim assist. That leads me to my next problem, crossplay. This game was clearly designed for PC and not for console. And the reason I'm saying this is that, again, the controller settings are abysmal in comparison to other competitive shooters. But more than that, there's one super egregious element of aiming and shooting that is ruined by crossplay in terms of balance. So the sniper and the skewer on controller don't have any aim assist when no-scoping. But of course, you're in crossplay lobbies with mouse and keyboard players that didn't need aim assist anyway. I don't know how this happened. Call of Duty increased aim assist on snipers because of crossplay, because Call of Duty understands how much easier it is to snipe with a mouse in comparison to a controller. Halo, in my opinion, is a far more competitive game than Call of Duty, so it bothers me that I'm in lobbies with people that might be doing aim training with a large mouse pad and a really quality gaming mouse, while I'm trying to left stick aim and walk my reticle over to the person, because Lord knows you cannot right stick aim a headshot consistently when under fire and during hectic combat. Again, I'm trying to learn it and get better at it, but there just needs to be aim assist on no-scoping precision weapons like that. If the game was Xbox only and everyone had controllers like in the old days, I'd say, hey, no aim assist at all, fine, go for it. But because I have to fight mouse and keyboard players, absolutely not, absolutely unacceptable. I see people in crossplay ranked flying around corners and headshotting people with sniper rifles and shock rifles and skewers, whereas when I do the controller solo duo playlist on ranked, people are playing much slower with their precision weapons and they're not flying around the corner trying to no-scope me in the head with them. And now we'll get to my last issue, and my last issue is that I think there's too much hype around Halo Infinite right now. I feel like Infinite is a really solid game gameplay-wise, but is 3/4 short of being a full Halo product. I'm not just talking Forge and co-op, I'm talking stuff like multiplayer maps or progression avenues. I'm talking cross-play support being implemented properly versus not. Halo hype is taking over the internet again for the first time in over a decade. Halo hype is taking over the world for the first time in over a decade, and I really, as a fan, appreciate that, but you have to understand I'm coming at this from the perspective of a commentator. When I'm playing games, I'm trying to improve at them while also review them, and that's a hard balance to strike. And when I review Halo Infinite and I start writing down my opinions, I realize that these are some glaring issues that pop up multiple times a play session. Everything from my skill not being valued to having my melees fly through enemies because of weird collision. It's just frustrating. I don't want to sound pretentious, but I kind of feel like I'm the only one at the party noticing that the punch has been spiked, and I'm a little nervous to mention it because everybody's enjoying themselves. But here are my issues. Let me know what you think about them or how you would fix them in the comment section below. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.